The first question is actually about your history together. I want to know what brought the three of you together.
Paul used to play with a guy called Giesman in Belgium, and he played in many bands. And he was going on tour, and he needed to have a replacement for his gig with this guy. So Ruben stand in. This guy's drummer couldn't do it. I stood in, and that's where we met. And he called me and he said, well, I've got this band, Triggerfinger, and I just threw everyone out.
I used to have a studio somewhere the north of Belgium, and the guys were coming in and asking me if I wanted to record the first album. Because there was no money involved, and we knew each other already a little bit. And then 1 week later, they came back and to say the bad news that Vladimir, the ancient bass player, quit the band. So Ruben asked me, why don't you? Because I was a guitar player before, you know. So why don't you play bass? I never did it in my life, but I wanted to do it. And at night I went to see the concert with the old bass player, and I was knocked out. So I said, okay, even when they ask me to play triangle or something else, I will say yes, you know, because I like the band so much.
What do you think is the biggest struggle along the way in this job? Let's call it a job.
There is no struggle. It's all fun. You make music. That's what you want. You want to kind of like achieve something that where you can go on tour and explore the music and people can enjoy it. And
it's logical after 20 years that there are some things that not everybody can support, you know, like lack of privacy, things like that. And when you're a little bit sensitive in that kind of thing, it can get hard sometimes. When I personally had some feelings like that, I just had to think like before I played the music, what I did before. So I'm very glad that I'm doing it. You know, that's. I used to work in factories and things like that. That's no fun at all, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And you love music, so you're here. But it's not like it's one big party without stopping. No, that's not true.
But that's in life. It's never in life, is it? I mean, it's never in life. But that's what I mean.
I think musicians have an advantage actually. You get the chance to create every day. You get the chance to develop ideas.
Sorry to interrupt. Everyone can do that.
Yeah.
You can do it. Everyone who wants to do something can do that. It's not because we're musicians that we're.
But it's different from the job, you know, that you're going to a 9 to 5 and you're doing the same thing every day.
I don't agree.
It depends. We're also doing the same thing. We're making music, and if you really want to be good at anything, you gotta work for it. And if you want to design chairs or tables, or you create too. You know, there's a lot of ways people who make games or whatever online platforms. They also have the creative mind is a really cool thing, and you can put it to good use in a lot of different ways, which is great.
It's passion. It's passion. We are talking about passion.
It's like we say, there's upsides and downsides to every profession and everything you do. But the thing you gotta, you know, make sure for yourself is that it's worthwhile. If all the downsides and all the stuff that's less cool, if it's worthwhile doing for that thing where you go for, which is playing the music and making those albums, then it's fine.
With whom would you have a beer with? With what artist? With what band?
I think with Keith Moon might be an interesting fellow to have.
Keith Moon, John Bonham,
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, they're not alive, but indeed Jimi Hendrix. But you'll have thousands of bands we would like to share the stage with, and or you know, we had the opportunity to play with the support of Tin Lizzy, for example, which is like kind of rock and roll history, you know, and that's always fun to do. You know? But you have like 20,000 bands like that, you know. It's always fun being part of such a big thing.
I want to know, how do you see technology, social media, platforms, everything?
Fairly new, you know. We're at the forefront of what is social media, and it's now that it's starting to kind of really get going. But I guess you can. There's cool things to experience with that.
Is it changing the world? Yes, it is changing the world. Are we gonna get rid of it? I don't know. I don't think so. So you better live with it, I think. And yeah, no, just do your thing with it. That's what I mean. It's like
I'm a father of 2 teenagers, so I think for now it's also best if you limit their time on social media and, you know, even the YouTubes of this world and stuff, and they're allowed to do it because it's there and they have to learn to kind of find their way, and you can also point out certain stuff they can look up if they want to, and there's a lot of cool stuff to see and to hear and to enjoy, but you also, you know, they gotta be in the garden and be bored and whatever, so it's kind of...
It just helped me. Because I needed to fix something in the house, and I could look it up at YouTube, and it was there, so I could do it. Like, okay.
So are you in charge with your social media account?
I don't have a social media account anymore, but I used to be on it very often, and at one point, because, you know, in Belgium, the extreme right, they only did campaign for the elections through social media, Facebook. So, and they won like a lot. So for me, that was a reason I couldn't stand it anymore. I saw all those nasty things appearing. But I agree, that's the downside of it. But there are a lot of things that are really cool. You know. But for myself, I quit all social media because, you know, I had an overdose or something like that. But it's like the guy said, I totally agree for the rest, you know.
What would your advice be for newcomers?
Do your thing. What you want, do your thing, what you want to do.
I can tell you how to do it, but you find your own voice, maybe. That might be a cool thing to do, who you are and what you like, and you're probably gonna have to practice some stuff to get good at something.
Never listen to my advice. Just do what you have to do, you know, and we don't know it. We don't know how it works, or you know, it's different for everybody else, you know. And most of the time you can listen to advice, but after that you can choose whether you think about it or you just say, Pete, you